So you might want to highlight that so you don't like wonder about all of this. And next time you see your Buddhist teacher eating hamburger, you go, he's not keeping his precepts. So that's not what it's about. It's about not killing other human beings. I don't think there's a whole lot of problems with that here in this current audience. No? See, it's easy to keep. Have you killed any humans lately? Not really. We do have people come in from the armed services all the time, though, that really do have to take a look at this. Fair enough? Or thinking of going off to the armed services. Right? And it's true that metaphorically you would like to kill your husband. We get it. That's understandable. But that's not what we're talking about. That it's not. It's actually about not killing human beings. Now the rest is what I'm interested in, and this isn't about the commandment. It isn't about the precept. What this is about awareness, and that's where I'd really like you to focus is on the union of the precepts and awareness, because that's really all that matters. The rest is this basic commandment stuff that if you don't know by now, there's nothing I can share with you. You're too smart, or you've been around too much already. Everyone here, let's just make sure we're on the same page. You already know you shouldn't be killing people, that you shouldn't be stealing, that you shouldn't be lying, that you shouldn't be cheating on your spouse or your significant other. And it's not a good idea to get wasted. Everyone know that? I mean, you got to be like about, what, 18 to figure that out? Maybe not even 18, maybe like 5. All right, so that's, I'm not going to sit up here and preach to you because that's just irrelevant. But this is about awareness. This is about awareness. So I'd like to encourage you to take the not killing thing to its opposing extreme, depending on your level of awareness. And so, but it's for each of you individually, and not to be utilized as a tool to judge others. You just have to keep highlighting that. So what it means is, what would be the opposite of, well, instead of just keeping a vow or a commitment, don't kill, what would be the opposite, Joan?
The opposite?
Yeah.
The opposite would be killing.
No, the opposite.
The opposite?
Yeah. Because if we're going to keep a commitment, let's keep it what it was originally intended for, which was to promote awareness. The awareness, which is our preference, which is don't suffer and stress. So what's the opposite of, hey, of killing?
Not being aware of what you're thinking.
That's part, yeah. Yeah, what else? Come on, how should you treat life?
Reverence.
With reverence and respect. So it's not enough just not to do something. I mean, look, if you're living in a social contract, which we all are, the legal system, then that's an outside force looking at you saying what? Don't do this, or there will be a punishment. This is bad, there will be a punishment. Awareness supersedes, you need to go beyond just a social contract. The Rousseauian contract that we all live with. Our relationship to the law. I mean, any fool, really, can generally abide by the law. When we don't, it's foolish. But we generally abide by the law, but that's not enough to keep you happy, which is what, and stress-free, which is what this is about. Do you get that? This is about the state of awareness, not being stressed. How's that? And so by not killing, you don't have to worry about that. In the Buddhist time, there wasn't a social contract. And so they had to actually come up with stuff like this. Don't kill. But for us, it's much, much deeper. And it's about your extension of awareness into your life. So how could you each day show reverence and respect for life? You individually. Again, not to be used as a tool against others. So what's generally done in the monastery system is that 6 times a day, it's called a 6-session yoga. Yoga is bringing together body, breath, and mind 6 times a day, 3 times before lunch and 3 times after. If you want to know how it's done, you would look at one of these precepts and try, at the beginning of that hour, you would try, what can I do proactively to show reverence and respect for life? Isn't that nice? Not just to not kill, but what can I do? What can I go out of my way to do? Isn't that nice? It's pretty cool. So what could you do? Yeah.
What I do every morning is go out to my swimming pool and get my net, and I look for frogs and insects that are
Yeah. Awesome.
in the ground, and I don't see.
Perfect. I've got one for you. You ready for this? People who are working on minute levels, on these really small levels, because some people might look at that and go like, oh God, one of these Buddhist, environmental, I don't know what she's going through, but just a frog. Okay, all right. There's probably not a lot of people, not a lot of people in here like that, but people watching, you know, one day, maybe they'll run across someone like that. They'll be like, it's just a frog. What are you, crazy lady? Relax. All right. How about this? Let's call this notion of working on awareness at a more and more subtle level concentric circles. So I want you to write that down, because I think it'll be an important term. Concentric circles. Here's really what we're working on. Concentric circles of awareness. Instead of a commandment. Ugh. Ah. Just hearing that term makes me want to, spit up my Jesus wafer from, back in the day in Catholic school. It's like, oh, just people telling you what to do, who I actually don't have respect for. It's like, oh, that was my, when I was 10 years old, that was my relationship when I was going to Catholic school. It's like, I don't respect these people, and they're telling me what to do and what to do this, don't do that. I'm like, all right. And I kind of felt like that all the way up until I started training in the monastery, in which I was exposed to the idea we're not trying to abide by a social contract or by religious rules. We're trying to support our awareness and not suffering. End of story. When I was exposed to that, I thought, did I miss something all these years? It seemed so simple. Don't kill, don't steal, don't lie. And I actually came to terms with, I think I have missed. I've missed everything about this. There's actually a lot here that I just did not see. So what does it look like to say, in concentric circles of awareness, to respect and have reverence for life? Literally, every day I go out of my way to try to protect life as part of my commitment to my own individual freedom. So here's what happens. People who are working on the level of protecting insects, guess what they'll never do?
Third person.
That's what working on concentric circles gets you. And you're working on patterns of behavior, obviously, because it comes up all the time. And you'll always have to question yourself, and it's normal that everyone in a group like this questions about their dietary concerns. That's normal. That's because you start working on life. How could it not happen? On protecting life. How could it not happen that one day, and very quickly, you will rub up against what? God, if I'm sitting here trying to protect life at, what is it, 8 in the morning, Elizabeth? And then later I, feel like eating a chimichanga. Sooner or later it's going to rub, and that's exactly, and I really want you to hold this for a second. We're looking for the rub. I want to challenge you with that. That instead of me challenging, I'd like you to start challenging yourself that, where's the rub? Where are my patterns of behavior not actually in line with my intentions? We're looking for that. Not looking for me to do it to you, but you looking for as an introspective understanding. Where's the rub? Do you get it? Mm-hmm. The rub is between my ideals and the way I'm actually living. And to not shut down and go oblivious into some unconscious state just because this is working against your preconceived notions. Do you get that? So this is work. Precepts are work. But if you'll think of it as good work, and it's fun work, and it's showing you things about yourself, and it's starting to lighten up the boundaries of destructive behaviors, that's all. But you're not being held in judgment by anyone else. It's just your own work. Do you get that? Mm-hmm. And you're not supposed to use your work, like if you decide one day to become a lacto, veganarian, breatharian, who one day decides that only the breath is good and nutritious, a breatharian.
And then dies.
I'm sorry?
And dies.
And well, whatever. Neanderthal will all be breatharians. But one day, but it's not there to sit there and look at this and go, Sheila, we've been friends for so long. I just want you to know I've made the switch. I eat fish and chicken. I don't eat meat anymore. You certainly, I feel for you. Mental compassion. See, it's never to be utilized like that.